Alberta's not known for its giant muleys, but that definitely doesn't mean that we don't have them. The toughest thing about it is putting in the time and waiting your 5 years to get drawn. And this episode, that's what it's about. Dustin Banack and Scotty Bigelow have put in for 5 straight years and finally got drawn. Hey Duster, turn, take a hard left. Now look up. There he is.
Pure Instinct is brought to you by Weaver Group Limited, a leader in Western Canada's energy industry. Redline Powercraft and Yamaha. Trim FX. Red Wing Boots. Black Eagle Arrows. Alberta West Transport. Dave Booth Taxidermy. Deluxe Wall Tents. And Johnny's Sausage and Meats.
So Scotty's quest started when it come time to put in draws. He'd phone me and mention that he wanted to put drawing up for my neck of the woods. He didn't have a lot of time to do scouting, but he had the priority level. So we met up, we come up with a game plan, and I told him I'd start scouting and spend the spring and fall scouting for him and keep my eyes open, see if we can nail down a nice big old muley. The most part, the scouting was my wife and I, and we spent quite a few evenings on weekends. You know, you get a babysitter and we'd head out and you just sit at the top of the hill and glass and glass and glass. We put in quite a bit of time scouting for Scotty, and you know, we were really hoping it was going to come together for him, and you know, it sure did.
Well, we're just glassing for some mule deer here. We got a pretty good buck spotted down in the bottom, but I don't know if we're going to be able to get down to him or not. It's kind of a hard situation. We'll see what we can do anyways. We're going to keep looking here and see if anything else. Just got to keep glassing into the trees all day. All of a sudden, one deer appears, 2 deer appear. Keep moving through the bush all day. It's nice to be able to sit on them. Be able to do this, but we're going to see if we can get down and have a better look at this deer I got spotted down here. Well, it's the first day of our mule deer hunt. We're sitting this field tonight. See what happens. We got 2 muley buck tags. Special draws this year. We're right on the river breaks of the Peace River. Got some good permission today. Already seen a ton of deer. Hopefully a good buck comes out tonight.
This segment brought to you by Redline Powercraft and Yamaha. Family fun from land to sea.
Weaver Group Limited, the leader in Western Canada's energy industry.
It's the second morning of my mule deer hunt here. Onto some 150 class deer. Nothing that I seen real good yet. Seen one real nice shooter this morning, but didn't have any permission where he was, so he ended up crossing into a stubble field the other way from what he was supposed to do, so that didn't work out as planned this morning. So we're just glassing some hills here and watching the sun come up, and then we're gonna start hiking through some more country, so stay tuned. Hopefully we get a big muley sooner than later. Well, we cruised around all this morning. We've seen one little buck again, and about 15 does, and that's it. Nothing that we could really put a stock on or looks interesting. Anyways, we're just putting a couple more trail cams up here. Gonna set some of these up just in case we have to make a second trip. Then got a few trail cams to look at as well. So yeah, I'm gonna get this trail cam in the bush, and then we're gonna continue on.
Scotty's been up here for a little bit hunting, and I get a phone call. He's got a big muley down, big wide muley, and he needs some help. It seems like that's all I ever do is help everybody else with their animals.
So I shot this muley this morning, and he started at that spruce tree in the background behind me over there. Come through these hills, through these coulees, down through the draw. I cut him off. I ran about a mile. I was so out of breath and so freaking tired by the time I got to him. I could barely even breathe. And then I cut them off in the ravine, and he opened up at about 200 yards through the trees, and I grunted and he was grunting and had his nose to a doe's butt, and turned broadside in the trees and stopped for me, and I was able to get the camera on him, and the rest is history.
Oh, Scotty.
Yeah, man, nice and wide. That's what I've been hunting for. I'm putting my time in. There we go. I finally caught up with this guy. I have trail cam pictures of him. I thought he actually got killed by the outfitter in the area, but he didn't, and he decided to come out chasing some does. I seen 10 different bucks total this morning in here, and as soon as Mr. Big Split Ear on the one side and Mr. Wide, that's what I called him, Split Ear Wide, then he come out, and the rest is history. I ended up one perfect shot from my 300 Win Mag, my favorite gun, big body. I bet you he's 300 pounds, 350 pounds, just a monster. And yeah, I'm gonna be backpacking him out of here, so I'm gonna be caping him and coordinating him and getting him out of here as soon as I can. He's got a 6-inch brow tine on the one side here. Beautiful deer. Couldn't be more happy.
A little bit of a fish hook on that.
Yeah, he's got a fish hook brow tine here, big 3 this and big 3 there, and nice and wide. It's always good, you know, it's a good deer when they're wider than their ears, especially a muley. Well guys, this muley is in Pretty nice hole, so we're caping them and quartering them out right here. I'd like to thank Scott Banack for coming to help. I won't be paying rent this month. He shows up, wants to film my deer, then tells me he's got to go to the office as soon as the work starts. What a surprise. See you later, bud. Gets on his quad and takes off. Real nice, Banack, real nice.
I got a phone call regarding one of our projects, and it just so happened to be right after I got there to help Scotty out. I know he gave me a hard time about it when he finally got back to my place that night. We got some pictures, but he was giving me a pretty hard time about my lack of help, you know, once I seen where it was. If that was me, I probably would have waited for that muley to crest the hill.
This segment brought to you by Black Eagle Arrows, the most durable and accurate arrows on the market.
Back in my day, we didn't have these yuppie coffee stores. We roasted our coffee over a fire like real men. Ain't that right, Brutus? You're such a good dog. Old Smokes Coffee, crafted coffee for the courageous. Have a big cup, shut the up.
So when it comes to Dustin and Andrew, we're hunting together, and when you throw those two names into the same you know, camera crew and shooter, you're gonna get nothing but success. Dustin puts in more time than anybody that we have on this team, whether it's checking trail cameras, topping up bear baits. The kid does it, you know, from sitting out and watching these animals for the last week of season, you know, putting them to bed every night for the last 5 days and watching their patterns. You know, there's not a guy that's going to put more time in than Dustin and Andrew. So when they had talked about going to fill Dustin's tag, there wasn't a doubt in my mind that these boys were going to connect on a big muley.
Got to the fence line on further inspection. That buck right there isn't the one that we thought he was. So, back to the truck. We'll see if we can find that other guy again, I guess. He's gotta be here.
Okay, well, we checked that deer, pulled into this little approach, snuck off the tree line here, had a look at that buck. We figured it was that one we got video footage of the other week in that bale field, but unfortunately just not the class and muley we're looking for. These are the ones you gotta let live. So you got the big ones, and unfortunately, yeah, we're backing out of here now. We're just gonna grab our gear, put it back in the truck, scoot on to the next field. Hopefully we can pick up another buck that's in the next field, quarter down.
Yeah, hopefully that tall tip pulls over there and put a stock on him.
Perfect. Yeah. Stay tuned. Let's go.
Okay, just spotted a muley. Couple ridges up. He's bedded down. We're gonna sneak over this ridge. Try set up and get a shot. Wait for him to stand up in his bed. I don't want to spook him, so we're just gonna creep over the hill. See if we A lot of character. Wide. Oh, wow. Let's go check him out. He didn't go far.
This segment brought to you by Weaver Group Limited, a leader in Western Canada's energy industry.
Well, here it is. Thank you, Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving weekend. All the tough hikes, all the long walks, miles in the hills, finally paid off. Hiking all these bad boys, seen a lot of good deer right on top of the field edge, and both down in the hills. Finally narrowed it down to a buck I got on camera in the hills constantly. Nailed him down coming from a water source. Bedded down, found what he was doing and made it happen. Man, couldn't have worked out any better. Early in the afternoon, caught him in his bed. Worked out just perfect. Wind in our favor. We had that late fall winds just blowing hard, trying to take the leaves off the trees for us. And you know what? I capitalized on it. Caught him sleeping. He heard me come up at the end. He stood up, didn't know what was happening. I didn't spook him too much, but worked out just perfect. I want to go down there and have a look at this guy. He's a beauty. Right here is the last place. I was just over top of these willow bushes. He's right here. Nothing. I know he was running. I watched him run down this fence line. He must have been in this opening because he had to have been standing right here. No idea.
Hey, Duster.
What?
Turn, take a hard left. Now look up.
There he is. Nice buck, man. Lots of character, big width.
Yeah, those boys, they did lots of homework, and they didn't get their target buck. Their target buck is an absolute giant. I guess at the end, I'm almost thankful that they didn't get their target buck, because somebody, you may be looking at him right now through on the on your TV screen is going to be due for muley draw next year. So really hoping that I get that buck now. At the end of the day, you know, you get out of it what you put in. These guys that are out there, they harvest giant deer. These guys don't harvest giant deer without putting in the homework, whether it's trail cameras to sitting in a stand, you know, in the middle of winter. At the end of the day, just like anything in life, you get out of it what you put in. These boys did a heck of a job. Scotty, it was some good shooting. You know, that deer right in his tracks. That was a great harvest. Same with Dustin. You know, and Dustin's especially, that was an old deer. You know, there was not a lot of teeth left on that guy. He was old, just a wide, you know, he was definitely on his way down, and that was a great harvest and some good venison in the freezer. So at the end of the day, I want to, you know, these boys are well deserved for filling their freezers, all the hard work they put in. So congratulations to Dustin and Scotty, heck of a job, boys, and you know, another 5 years to go.